Oh, I think if any of you just tuned in to see me waving like a lunatic, that might have been because Ben just bought me a cup of tea and everyone's going, hi. So, hi, good evening. Welcome to the IBD Ostomy Support Show. I'm Louise, aka Crohn's Fighting. Apologies for not being on last week. It was rather last minute, but I had a rather nice, great big wisdom tooth abscess, and I was a little swiftly on pain meds, so it wasn't advisable that I do the show because that's when my filters go. So what have I been up to the last week or so? Well, I managed to lose my mum's £130 fascinator to the wind and down the river on Tuesday morning. And I nearly got shot. It's only me that it can happen to, because I had a shotgun wedding to go to. I've just been busy with work. I've been sleeping.
Did you call it a fascinator?
Yeah, it's a fascinator. It was a hat.
So I've never ever heard that before.
It had a headband and it had a big flappy rim thing round it with flowers on it.
Is this a thing that everyone's going to know about? Because I've never ever heard of the word.
Yeah, it's what people wear to ascot or weddings, or if you just being.
I am going to Google that
now. Oh yeah, I finally got my glasses and I finally saw the eye specialist and I got my eyes sorted. It turns out, apparently, for those of us with IBD, and if you have got bad eyesight and you've not been wearing your glasses because you're too tight to go and pay for an eye test, you can suffer with dry eyes, and that blocks the tear ducts, and that was why my eyes were getting all swollen and bloodshot. So I have to do hot compress 2 to 3 times a week, and I have to use these Hycosan extra drops in my eyes 3 or 4 times a day. It's really good. I'm waking up in the mornings and I can actually open my eyes because they're not crusty. Yay me. What else? Oh, we've got Purple Wings next weekend. I finally finished my antibiotics so I can have my Disaronno that got bought for me on Mother's Day. Yay me. And today we are covering how to deal with ostomy smells, or at least make them slightly less offensive. So I've got a few bits and pieces there, but I will pass you over to Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel, aka Rocking Two Stomas. I need to have a. I might just get my sign that Steve made me. I have to do that the week after next. So what have I been up to this week? I've been really busy. I've went up to Steve last week and went to Birmingham. Then I went from Birmingham to Peterborough for a meeting with Coloplast, and I'm now consulting for them and doing bits and bobs and things like that, which is all very exciting. Oh, excuse me. I don't burp before I never burp. And I am back now, but I'm off again next Thursday because I've got a meeting in Bristol about videos for bladder cancer and meeting up with them. And so I won't be here, but I will be back the following week. And then we got the catwalk on Saturday. So the next few months is mental. Like Steve and I are so busy. It's all really good. I just need to balance up a bit more. This week, yes, thank you. If anybody watching has got in touch about the Euro stories, the hashtag that I'm doing. Yesterday was mental. I've had about nearly 60 or 70 people interested, and I've had about 20 questions back for the post. So that'd be really good. So it's really interesting to see what people's experience in hospital with the lack of healthcare knowledge for urostomies. And everything I thought is confirmed it. So that's been really interesting. So I'm really excited to do that. And what else? I think this weekend is no rugby. Well done, Ireland. You smashed it. But there's no rugby this weekend. So I think I was going to be a bit quiet, maybe.
Oh, did I tell you I finally got my England rugby top? Yay!
Did you?
Bit like that, isn't it?
I have to wait for next time. I've got an idea for World Cup, but it's going to be massive to try and get. It'd be great if we can get all the people from the countries and do one together, or if not, for the Six Nations next time. But I'm going to message Nicola at one point, see if we can do it together. But so, yes, I think that's all I don't think I've left anything out. No, I've got a post coming out tomorrow about traveling, tips to travel on a train, because the amount of traveling I've done. Can you believe that July last year I hadn't even left Bournemouth because I was too scared to travel. Now I'm traveling all the time, so it's amazing how I've got my confidence slowly. So that's coming out tomorrow.
Slowly, it's just been rushed at you, innit? Really?
Yeah, I think it has.
Nothing, and then everything in one go. Really.
That's very much my life, though. It's always like that. My health is still crap. I still struggle. I'm still having bleeding with diversion colitis and pain, struggling to eat and weight loss. But it's okay. I deal with it and I just crack on. I need to kind of learn to rest more and watch TV.
Are you doing what I'm doing? Because obviously I can't eat because of that bloody tooth. Are you not maybe just, you know, the big onken pots, the yogurt pots? I've just been like grazing through those and tins of Heinz soup.
No, I can't. I'm struggling. Yeah, and see, I've gone off yogurt. I've gone off food, so I'm just trying to slowly rebuild it. And it's okay. I'm at least I'm 2 meals now. I was only 1 meal a day, so at least I'm 2. But I need to kind of persevere with that, and I need to try and find some more time just to do nothing, like not look at my phone. Because when I'm with Steve, I can watch the TV and I can put the phone down, laptop down, and it's really good.
And you did eat very well when you was with me, didn't you?
I did. Yeah. And then when I'm here, I just can't sit and watch a film or watch a TV series without working, and it's mental. So I am trying hard to deal with that, because otherwise I'm going to end up crashing. I don't really want to go in hospital again. Like, I've only been once, like since March. So yeah, anyway, I'll pass you on. I've been rabbiting on. Steve, what have you been up to?
Hello, it's me. Hashtag Baghdaddy. My week. Obviously Rachel come over. That was nice. What have I been doing? I've just been busy working, to be honest, and just really suffering with fatigue. Health-wise, feeling pretty good, I think. I'm trying to think, I'm that busy that I can't even remember what I've done. But the Coloplast thing has dropped. The videos are out now. The videos are out. Soon be a little star amongst the IBD following.
But I saw our video in Coloplast, and I just absolutely was hysterical. Within 2 minutes, it said the stoma's found love or something like that, and I was gone. I was hysterical. I was crying throughout the whole. I can't remember what bits they showed. I can't remember. No. They showed the bit jumping in the pool, and I said that we did that about 10 times. So I can't wait for that because it's really lovely, because it's kind of like,
I'm really jealous about that.
A love story.
Yeah, we've got a couple of things coming up in Copenhagen
as well.
We're going to be talking in front of 800 stoma nurses, which is kind of nerve-wracking.
And changing our bags in front of them as well on stage.
Yeah, that's just
with my prolapse.
That's going to be a very interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I've kind of just been doing the normal. I've been working. I've been having my kids over for tea on a Tuesday. I've got them stopping this weekend. Collecting sponsorship still a few people who have been sponsoring me as well, so the total's going up. I've probably got about £300 to collect, so it's been coming in nicely. I can't think of anything else. I think I got a bit of a cold, but that's nothing. It could be just my nose, to be honest.
Everybody's got that cold going around, though. It's a cough. Honest to God, I come back home Tuesday. Okay, I was naughty Tuesday. I had several cigarettes, but I was in a very stressful situation, and it was a place I really didn't want to be. So I bought a packet of cigarettes before I went, and I might have been chain smoking outside the venue. And I come home, and I've been coughing all afternoon anyway. I was really yucking my guts up, and I just puked. So I bought a packet of cigarettes before I went. I might have been chain.
Hi, Nat.
Hi, Nat.
Sorry, I lost track of time completely.
I keep thinking you're blonde, and then when you come up, it's like, oh, she's not blonde. Every time, I think I've got you blonde in my head from the beginning. We must be coming up to a year now, Louise, mustn't we?
We are indeed coming up to a year.
Really?
Yeah, I can't believe it.
How many shows have we actually done?
Oh God, I think I was checking. I think it's like 71 videos. I think it's
really
up on the list.
That's over a year then, isn't it? Think about it. There's 52 weeks in a year.
Well, no, because there was a couple of videos that we did that were extras that it was just sort of slid on. We started at the back end of March. I think it's a year. I think it's a year next week.
Wow.
Really?
Just to think of all the trouble it got me into.
So I haven't done a full year then, have I?
No, you're a full year in June, I believe.
Do you remember the early videos? Do you remember the early ones where I didn't get on until the last 10 minutes? I was trying really hard to get my phone to work until we figured it out.
The little tete-a-tetes with Benjamin, the
So
techno whiz.
stressful.
Oh, it's madness, absolute madness. Oh,
So
dear.
how are you, Nat?
Yeah,
You haven't introduced you yet.
Yeah, I've been struggling a bit with my stoma. It's been a bit dodgy, and I've been having some pain and stuff. But it's just a bit up and down. I don't know whether it's flaring as such, or whether it's just because I've been a bit stressed and that. But we've had a pretty busy week. I say a busy week, but it seemed like I've not done a lot. But we've like been to hospital for Steve, had his methotrexate again yesterday. What did we do Monday? Can't even remember. I had memory on Saturday, sorry. So I did go for that for my knee. And I'm back again on Tuesday to get the results and to see what we're going to do next. So that was all good. They were really lovely. I don't like MRIs. I never liked them before. I'm a bit claustrophobic. And then last year I had the one where I had the anaphylactic reaction to the Buscopan, which has obviously made me feel even worse in them.
I don't like them.
So
You had a reaction, because they're not nice at times. That's really scary, having a reaction as well.
yeah, well, I was in there. Obviously, you're in there on your own. I was in the tube, and because it was on my stomach, I was in there head first, right inside the tube. And when it started, so
Got face down.
no, I was face up, but I don't open my eyes because I don't like it.
It's really close to your nose, isn't it? It sends me cross-eyed if I keep my eyes open.
I mean, the other day they said with my knee, I go in feet first, and they're like, you don't have to go all the way, but you're still in. When you look up, you can't see daylight as such, like the room. You still see the tube, even though it's the outer bit, because you're still obviously I'm quite little, so I still have to go quite far in. So
now, what do they do with you in the MRI? Because I hate them. You know, I have issues with my hips. They actually, because of my stoma, they put like steps underneath my knees to
They
make
do that.
sure.
They do that all the time. They do that with everybody, because I worked in radiotherapy.
Cushion thing I normally have, because I can't. It's really uncomfortable for my knees to be straight anyway.
And then they strap my hips to the table.
They have to give it to everybody, because when you lie flat, you can move. They need you to stay still. So it actually, why it's not for comfort, it's to immobilize you so that you don't move. We used to go for radiotherapy
around my knee, and they even had to, because obviously my legs are quite tiny, they had to pad that out because they don't want my leg to move at all.
I kind of drift off and my arms fall down. It's like being in a washing machine full of nails, isn't it?
It's when they tell you to.
A little buzzer.
So you think that's right?
When they tell you to hold your breath and breathe in and breathe out and slowly release, and you think you're going to die of oxygen starvation.
Yeah, because they make you hold it for ages.
You give your headphones to wear, but you can still hear them.
Yeah,
and it's really noisy. None of my music goes to that sort of beat anyway. You know what I mean?
Oh, Evanescence works quite well.
I don't like the fact that it's so close to your nose. If your eyes are open, I'm going cross-eyed.
Yeah,
I can't focus on anything. They should have something interesting to read.
But they are really, really lovely. And I've always found that if I tell them, because I've had a panic attack in one before and had to be pulled out quickly and stuff. But if you tell them that you're scared, they are really, really helpful. But and they all like know me down there now, because they're like, oh, you're that girl that had that allergic reaction. Yeah. So it's a bit embarrassing, but
yeah, I see my GI on the.
Apparently, there is a bigger tube at my hospital. And I remember I had to have an MRI when I was about 12 or 13. I got a lump in my arm. That's the scar there. It was a neuroma, it's called. It's like a lump developed on my nerve. So they remember them scanning it. And I remember they attached like a cod liver oil capsule to it, because apparently that's how they could identify the part of my arm they were looking at. And I was only like I say, I'm sure I was about 12 or 13. And I was in that tube for about an hour. It was awful, but it was massive. And I don't know. I mean, I was small.
Maybe it's the case that you was tiny.
No,
and it was
no, definitely
sorry.
a lot bigger.
had to say it, didn't I?
Yeah, no, my mum said the same thing. And I was like, no, it was definitely bigger. But then somebody I know from the IBD groups messaged me about mine, and he goes to the same hospital as me. And he was like, oh, since I had a panic attack, they let me go in the supersized one. I was like, what?
Wow.
Supersized one?
Do you know what?
you
I
what.
think because I did the ILMA training, that we had to watch videos of what happens if metal's in MRI, and it was awful. I wish I hadn't seen them. We've seen videos on like the oxygen canisters and stories and that. So it's like, I think it's kind of made me more
I was
scared.
worried about that, you know. I worried, you know, like if you'd ingested a couple of ball bearings, will they be pulled out of your stomach with the magnet?
I can handle MRIs, not a problem, but every time they take me for a CT scan, they knock me out because I panic, because the last thing I remember before I was on life support was the CT scan, and I panic because I think every time I'm going to go in there, the same thing's going to happen. So they knock me out for CT scan.
Yeah, I don't mind them. I don't like the injections because they do sting a bit, but they're all open, so that's not so bad for me. But
I'm just kind of used to it because every time I go in, I have one because of the sepsis and the complications with the prolapse, and I just sort of got used to it. But the MRI, like one time I was there for like an hour and a half. They were doing a special for my ilioconduit where they had to inject the contrast into the stoma, and this guy was going to do it, and he didn't even know what urostomy was. And I asked for the radiologist. I went, no, I'm not having.
Doesn't instill you with confidence, does it?
No, and I'm not usually like that, but I was trying to be.
I still think the best one is when they do the Harvey Bradshaw index and that they ask you, and you're like, but I don't go to the toilet, I have a stoma. And they still ask
you say like, oh yeah, I've not been to the toilet for like 2 years. They're like, and then you're like, go on, ileostomy. Oh yeah.
Right, so we are moving on to ostomy smells. Now, I know, Natalie, you'll have to share this up on the page, but I know you did a post, didn't you, about ostomy smells and how to get rid of certain things.
Yeah, I'll get that on the page after the show.
So
I mentioned it earlier and I forgot.
I think with ostomy smells, post-op, everything stinks. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not pleasant. It takes a while for it to settle down. So that's once you've followed the low residue diet for a little bit of time and the consistency goes down, and then it starts going to something that is less heave-inducing. However, somebody said to me today, and Mike did make a good point. He said, if you're putting shit into your body, he said, then that is going to come out and that is going to reflect in your stoma and your output. So if you're eating bad things and you're eating stuff that, you know, may not be conducive to giving you a flowery ostomy output.
The thing is with that, Louise, is let's face it, poo stinks.
Oh yeah.
I've never ever smelt a poo that smelt nice. Do you know what I mean? Okay, there's ones that smell really bad and you think, oh dear. But, you know, it's the nature of it. It's a waste product, isn't it? It's never going to come out smelling the roses unless you've got rose-coloured scent in there, of course. You know what I mean?
This isn't scent, but guess what I got from Aldi yesterday? And I'm so excited.
Audi or Aldi?
Aldi. I got some glitter jelly.
Ooh,
oh, you didn't.
cool.
I did. Apparently, it's disgusting, but I was like, I don't care. I'll get it down me because I want to see glitter come out. But yeah, sorry, that's what I do smell. That's just me.
No,
like a snow globe.
But don't forget, part of it is what you eat, though, isn't it? So if you're sticking to, say, like low residue and you're eating very bland foods and there's not really anything that has a scent to it, then it smells, but it's not overly offensive. Whereas if you eat things like me or eat a lot of Thai food, which has got a lot of garlic in it, a lot of fish sauce, and the fact that I eat a lot of fish, I too run and hide in the mornings and give the bathroom a wide berth for at least an hour after I've been in there.
Fish has got to be the worst, as it does.
I really like fish, but I have to balance out whether I'm ready for the smell afterwards to whether I really, really want it.
Oh, fish is horrendous. Ben takes me to the fish stall down at Whitstable. He takes me down to the fish market. Yeah, them two don't go to the bathroom for 2 days.
I find that I've learned that my urostomy smells worse than my ileostomy, and is not really talked about. It's kind of assumed that ileostomy colostomies smell worse, but even Steve agrees my urostomy smells horrific. Like,
I wouldn't say it's horrific. It's worse than what I was
worse than the
expecting.
ileostomy. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know about
disagreeing
that.
with me. I thought you said it was. Well, I quoted you.
No. It's worse than what I was expecting. But I think, honestly, don't think that nothing's as bad as the smell of poo. But me personally,
See, I think my urostomy makes me.
I think yours is more.
It's harder to empty, but because of the mucus, it makes it change smell. But with my ileostomy, I realised that I like enjoying food, so I try not to let it hold me back. But I do use like VI poo. I do use that, and I do use sprays when I'm at Steve's. Not so much when I'm on my own, but when I'm at Steve's, and just to kind of help.
But just to throw it on the other side of the coin for those of us that have got IBD, do you not think that the ileostomy to a degree smells better than what used to come out of the other end anyway?
Yeah, definitely.
Times mine, when I had my first big flare up of like diarrhea, which eventually is what led me to the hospital because I was having like blood and mucus and stuff. It had a really funny smell to it, and I thought I'd got some sort of infection because we'd been away on holiday to Greece, and I was like, I must have picked something up. It must be, but the smell, it was awful.
I've been like constipated for months and months and months, and when I did ever manage to go, it was awful. It smelled like something I've crawled up there and died.
There's a definite smell when you've been constipated, though, isn't there? I always say, like,
I never forget one of the most embarrassing things that happened to me, and this was when I was having a flare, and my mum used to live when my mum split up with, I can't remember who she split up with, but she split up with someone. My mum moved on to like a mobile home site for 6 months because she needed to save up to move into a house. And obviously those caravan walls are not, those mobile home walls are not very thick. And, you know, you get the wind that goes hand in hand with the crones. So when you're going, it doesn't matter. You can't mask it. You can't muffle it. There is that smell and everything else. But you've got the noise that sort of echoes and sort of, it's like somebody stuck a megaphone down the toilet. And then I come out of my mum's toilet and I went outside, and the next door neighbours were giving me a round of applause. And I was just like, oh my God, I've never been so embarrassed in all my life. But the ileostomy to a degree frees you up because you don't have to worry about going to the toilet and having to wait for everybody to
trying to wait till people have gone or somebody's flushed the chain. You know.
I think everyone should try one. It's so much better than the other way. It's so much cleaner. It really is.
Oh dear. But yeah, so there are smells. I think there is a list. Oh, I will have to find the list. I did see it going around the other day about things that cause ostomy smells versus things that don't cause as much odour. And that's like the things with asparagus and other bits and pieces that were on there. So
I did have it on my phone. See if I've got it. I was only looking at it the other day because I was looking up wind producing foods because I'm having still.
But now I think when you're having a flare, anything will cause wind. It doesn't matter what you've eaten or what you've done. Your insides just take a revolt to it anyway. So yeah, we're going for. Who out of you guys uses deodorizer sprays?
If I'm staying at a friend's for a certain amount of time, then yes. That's kind of really when I use it the mostly. And mine would be the Ostomist Tangerine. That's my chosen flavour.
Yeah, I've got the Ostomist Cinnamon and Sandalwood. I'll be perfectly honest, it makes it smell worse. But I used, because I had the blackcurrant one, you know, the black raspberry one of the Ostomist. And
mine is backfired. I've you know, if you're with a bunch of lads and someone farts, you know, in a group of lads, straight away I'm feeling around my bag to see, oh dear, yeah, is it me? Is it me? No, it's not me. So, but if I've got that in the bag, someone opens an orange and I'm like, oh shit, is it me? Is it me? No, someone's eating an orange. But I'd much rather smell that Luckily, I haven't smelt it yet, so that's a good one.
Because Rachel, didn't you say that the Osto Mist you can actually spray into the bag?
The urostomy bag.
The Osteo drops.
And you can
the Ost that I put into the urostomy, but Pelican have never marketed as such, and I think they missed a big opportunity because with the urostomy smell, there isn't really is marketed to help. So the Osteo Mist, they confirmed to me that I can use it in the urostomy, but it'd be good if they marketed it because then they make it more. But it works well with the urostomy. It hides the smell, and I just out of laziness I don't use it as much as I should. Like because I've broken the top.
But I found the drops better than the spray.
Yeah, I mean,
but I use the orangey one. I think that's the best. It's
brilliant
without smelling weird. And
Pelican we got given because I love my samples, we got given Osteo Mist apple, that's an apple one, and I don't think I've actually used it, not once, because I don't. When I live on my own, I have my own toilet. I've got my ensuite toilet that's just mine. Nobody's allowed to use it, not even Steve. And then everybody uses the other toilet, so I don't really use it. But then when I'm at Steve's, then we use. So at the moment we've been using the Pelican adhesive.
Yeah, I've made no secret about that. They smell lovely. The blackcurrant one's really nice, but it ends up in the air, doesn't it, as a vapor?
Do you know
Is
what?
there anybody that I thought I was on my own then? I was about to do my song and dance.
I'll tell you, the other one that I do use when I go out, and to be honest, it's small enough to fit in my handbag when I go out with it, is the Pelican Deo Mint. And that was actually a sample I think I got from last time when we was down in October. That stuff's brilliant for when you're on the night out.
I like the Pelican adhesive remover. I just had a sample of it, but it's in my spare kit when I'm out and about. But that's got that mint fragrance, and it smells really good. Like when you're changing your bag, you can't smell anything.
Does Rachel realise she's frozen?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think she's realised, or if she has, she hasn't. But what's the other one that I got sent? Oh, this one I use for at home when it's really, really bad. You know, the Happy Flush, the lime fizz. Sue kindly sent me a sample because I filled in a questionnaire. And cool, that stuff, that'll get rid of anything.
I am a big fan of Happy Flush. It works.
I've heard that scent. Sorry, I've never seen the Happy Flush. That's supposed to be really good, isn't it?
It's brilliant. It really is. They're a small, British company. They've just got great customer care. Like you said about Sue, she's just so lovely. She really is. But it just works. I've got them. Because they
spray that in the bowl.
In my bag. It's the spray before you empty stuff. Yeah. But if I take that out, it was when I went with Steffi. We went for a weekend away, and we went to the theatre, and I took that with me to spray in the toilet before I went, because it's the one thing that really makes me feel confident about emptying my bag when I'm out.
Oh, do you know what? Emptying your bag when you're out, that's just dicey roulette anyway, because one, you can never guarantee that locks on the bloody toilets work.
Yeah, especially the disabled toilets. Some people just open them anyway.
Oh, do you know what? I'm a nightmare. I take my key out with me so I don't have to queue up for the ladies, and I use the disabled toilets in the bus when we're out. But it's just so much easier to empty the bag as well.
Well, Rachel's just messaged me. It won't let her sign back on.
I'll poop.
So she's trying.
Okay.
But I forgot what I was saying now.
Disabled toilets.
Yeah.
Disabled toilets anyway, just because I do get anxious about the noise and the smell, and so I do prefer to use the disabled toilets. But I went to Costa earlier. I used the normal one.
Do you know what? I think the fact that they've got these and you can use them, there's different ways for everything. To be honest, I don't use VIP and I don't use the other one. Is it the Poopery? Because I think they're overpriced.
I think they're overpriced. The VIP is really, really good. You know, it takes away any smell that's there. The one that Rachel uses, almost like a cherry blossom or something like that. But it is really expensive, isn't it? What you're literally spraying it down the loo, aren't you?
You are literally, and it's not kind to the fishes either. If Jasmine heard that you was using VI poo and spraying it down the toilet, she'll do you, because it's there's chemicals in it that are hazardous. So, well,
actually, I wouldn't spray it down the loo. I tell a lie, I'd spray it in the air above the toilet, so maybe a few particles might go down the loo. But the fish are probably going to die once they see what's in the bag anyway.
That's very true.
Because, you know, the other reason why we are discussing the Ostomist and the stoma sprays and the VIP and everything else is because the deodorizing sprays are one of the things that are religiously declined for you on prescription with stoma supplies.
Yeah.
So knowing where we get our samples from and knowing how we use them or where we buy them from or how we can get them, do you think that it should be a necessity on stoma prescription, or do you think that it's something, especially with the stoma companies, and we know how much they charge a bottle, that in the long run it is actually cheaper to buy it?
We'll
see. It lasts me ages. Sorry, Nat.
Sorry.
It lasts me ages. The deodorant bottles are like that, and I only use it if I'm really suffering with pancaking, which is not that often, to be honest. So that's a difficult one, though. I mean, how much are they to actually buy? Can you actually buy them?
You can buy them from places, yeah. They're quite expensive, though. And I found when I did quite extensive research for my post about ostomy smell and tried all sorts of weird and wonderful things. But I just found that a lot of them didn't work as well as they said they would. Yeah, they were quite expensive, like Narsen, and a lot of people, and it's one of those things that
a lot of people swear by that, though,
for everybody. Yeah, but Narsen did nothing for me. Yet to buy a bottle of it, you're talking between £10 and £20. Like, it's not cheap, which is why the Happy Flush works for me. It's cheaper than that, definitely, and I don't know, I'm a bit weird about stuff like this. I'm prescribed paracetamol, but I never get a prescription for it. I always buy it because you can buy it for sort of like 19p a box. And
yeah, it's pointless, isn't it?
Yeah. So although I can see why people are nervous about it, and I hate it when I'm out and about, but for how often I use it when I'm out, I just think buying it is just one of those things. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But you think, I mean, I think it's things with like the Ostomist and things with like the Deo Mint that goes into the bag. I think with Pelican and Responder as a whole, I think they're anything between £8 to £15 a bottle. Now, if you work it out and how often you use it, you know, some of them you're paying £10 or £15 for something, which, yes, you could get on prescription. However, if that £10 or £15 is lasting you the year, then if you weigh that up over what you spend a month to what you would be going through on prescription, you know, £1.20 a month is not a lot, is it, if you think about it?
No, exactly. It isn't. And I just think we've got to be grateful for the NHS and what we do get for free.
No.
It's only when it's gone that you realise.
Got to use judgment on it. Like I say, I generally only use mine when I'm out and about. We have a toilet downstairs and upstairs, so if we have people over, I will just generally go upstairs to do my bag, and Steve will generally do the same. So guessing that are using the downstairs and we're not having to worry about it. If I'm out and about, I'll use the Happy Flush, and my bottles last me for ages of that stuff.
I mean, how do you guys feel about the Trio Ostomy Pearls? Because I use them of a night time, and as well as being a gelling agent, they do actually have a thing in them that squashes the smell in the bag. So, you know, your first morning bag is the worst one to empty ever, regardless of what you've eaten or what you've done. The first morning bag is always the worst one, isn't it? I find with that, the smell's not really there. I don't smell anything when I'm emptying. So whether or not that could be an alternative.
Yeah, see, I didn't find that with those. I use those for gelling, but I didn't really find much difference with the smell.
I tried them last week, the week before last. Sorry, so that come the show night, I'd use both the diamonds and the pearls, and I didn't really notice the smell, to be honest. But then again, my sense of smell is not the best at the moment. I've got quite blocked up, but they gel really well.
You do your own smell as well, anyway, don't you? So it's
I don't know whether with me, I notice it because I use them, but I think because my output is pretty much high water liquid output, it's very rare for mine to be stodgy. That might be why I don't get as much of a smell with mine, unless it's something that I've eaten. And
well, I think as well, when your output's watery, you can almost, your bag flushes out, doesn't it, completely? You can completely empty it, whereas when it's stodgy, there's always remnants, isn't there? You're never going to get it completely. So then obviously that's sat there for even longer, and that's really but you know what I mean? It sits there and
this conversation is just going
bloody
one
hell,
way.
no. Val's just put, you know, these boxes of pearls. I think the ones that I get, I order these every 3 months. Did you know that they are £90? That's 90 quid. That pot is £90.
See, I've never actually had them on prescription. I remember at different do's that we've been to, and you know, I've done a few Vanilla Blush exhibitions where there's other people in the room with tables with products on. And I've just literally walked out with samples of this, samples of that, loads of pens and key fobs, and I've got must have about 60, 70 of them, which have just been given away.
Just a quick one. We're ever so sorry, but slight technical issues with Rachel tonight. Her phone's gone up the WhatsApp and the laptop keeps switching itself on and off, so she can't currently get signed back in. So we do apologise. We will. The show will go on with the three of us, but I suppose at least she's getting a rest. But people are asking about the open days, the Stoma days. Now, there are a lot of places that do events. You just have to know where to look and where to go. So things like joining your local Stoma group online. So a
lot of the hospitals organise them as well, you know.
Hospitals do them. If you speak to your Stoma nurse, they can tell you. I know St Mark's does a regular one.
There's
I've been to a number of them,
which I'm hoping to go to. I've forgotten the date, but if anybody's local to me and wants to go to the Derby one soon, let me know and I'll send you the details.
Because I know Birmingham IA is doing one soon as well in the next 2 weeks.
They're really good, you know, especially if you actually have a stoma. You know, I've done the Vanilla Blush ones and I've actually wearing the garments, so people are coming up to me, young and old, predominantly older people. You want to know about the vests and the pants and that, and as someone with a stoma, they're like a secret weapon to you know, your employer, because you can show them, you can tell them what the product is like. Everyone else is kind of like, they're all trying to get your business, and they all do. Everyone does you know, good products. Obviously, you have a favourite with certain products, you know what I mean? But everything's worth a try, isn't it? And when you're in that position, you newly become an
I tend to only hit specific stalls when I go into these events, because I know what I like and I know what I like using.
Yeah,
so.
But when you first started, Louise, when you first became an ostomate, you'd grab a bit of everything, wouldn't you? You know.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah. You
got to try all. You got to, you know, to become a true professional.
Do you know what? The one thing I still can't get on with, and I still can't fathom to this day how to use the bloody things, and that is barrier rings. I'm no good at putting them on. They don't stay to where they're meant to. I don't use them. I can't use them.
My only word of advice: I could never. Every time I stuck it around my stoma, it peeled off, or there was always a gap. I always cut it to my bag, and I stick it to my bag.
Right, all the guys on the chat are going, everything that happens in Birmingham. I'm like, yeah, I'm moving to Birmingham.
It's the hub. It's the hub of...
It's like the middle, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And we got the best accent.
That's right. Graham's just said he's a true pro at the open days. He knows what he wants and he goes in for the kill.
Yeah.
Somebody's mentioned about not seeing Happy Flush at events as well.
No, Sue mainly distributes to, I think it's either Paydens or Lloyd's pharmacies. I know that the Lloyd's pharmacies.
Shops. Yeah, and also they're prolific on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can find them. The website is where you can order it. And I know that they are going to be at the Purple Wings Catwalk show.
Are they?
They are, because they're supplying the goodie bags.
Yeah, so they'll
The Catwalk show, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you go into that, you can get your samples.
It's a good one. Oh dear, I was going to say something there. My brain's gone. Awkward silence.
No, them are the best ones.
They're the best ones.
I also tried some natural remedies for my post. Things like lighting a match when you've emptied your bag. Apparently destroys the smell.
It just smells of phosphorus and burnt match, doesn't it?
Smell match, yeah. So
yeah.
But it's something in the match burning that's supposed to eradicate the smell. But yeah, it didn't.
What about Tic Tacs? Have you heard that one as well?
Yeah,
peppermint tea.
Did not work for me.
Peppermint tea.
Yeah.
What putting a tea bag inside your bag?
No, drinking it.
But I tried
Rachel swears by it.
Last night because I've been getting a lot of bloating and wind, and I thought, right, I'm going to give it a go. I don't know whether it caused me just to get rid of more wind, because I had to empty my bag of air 3 times.
Do you know what? I've got enough essential oils indoors because I have those vaporizer things. I might actually give those a bash in my bag and see if anything works.
Would that be okay though? Would that be, the thought of it touching your stoma and reacting?
Oh, that's a good point.
Do you know what I mean? It's like when they say put these deodorizers in there. Now, I've done it when I've actually cut the bag. I'm about to put it on. I've poured some in the bag and I've opened and shut the bag so it's in the area above my stoma. Yeah. But then when I'm putting on the bag, I'm aware that is my bag going to stick properly, because maybe some of it.
Do you know what though? I always, when I use the deodorant sprays, even when I change my bag after I've had a bath, I always put the bag on and then I spray it in from the bottom. I don't ever put it in from the top around the base plate. Just because, knowing my luck, Bertha would go off and have a massive punami shitstorm all over my bed.
If you are going to have a pancaking, it's going to be above it, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
but it's just as dicey putting baby oil into your bag or anything else into your bag to help it slide down, because putting it in through, if you don't get the aim right and you manage to get even a tiny little bit on the back of the end of the base plate, you're pretty much naffed.
I did that with baby oil and my bag peeled off.
It's not going to.
I did use oil in my bag, and then I read something about it like breaking something down, and it wasn't long after I'd had my op and that. So then I freaked out and wouldn't use it, but it did work quite well.
Did it?
Yeah. But whatever I'd read, and people were like, you shouldn't have it near your stoma, and I was just a bit like, oh.
Yeah, but you've got to remember your stoma doesn't feel anything. The bit on the outside, the skin does. So if your skin's sore and something like that did happen to get onto it, say the Deo mint, because she was having a funny 5 minutes and thought it would be a good idea just to spray it around to see what happens. Yeah, it's a bit tingly. Best of both.
It'd be the skin, really. Probably be the skin around rather than the actual stoma, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I think ostomy smells, at the end of the day, everybody's back end smells. If anybody does happen to shoot rainbows, unicorns, cupcakes with a scent of rose elderflower, then please let us know.
Elderflower's horrible.
However, it does smell. There's no getting around it. It smells. It's one of those things. It's all the bad stuff.
But a lot of food can actually smell like the curry that you had the night before. you know, like the fish that you had the night before. You know, because obviously the transit is a lot less, isn't it?
Yeah.
Probably the last 2 nights, and it's not been pleasant. And the peppermint tea that I had before I went to bed, aside from increasing my wind production, which I'm not sure whether that's how it works by getting rid of the wind inside you, but it didn't make my bag smell of mint.
No.
Officially,
Rachel drinks it really for to settle her stomach more than anything.
yeah,
It's the
So
same
it's
with
food.
me.
it sort of work. Like I say, I had to keep emptying my bag of wind, but I suppose
It's a natural. The peppermint is actually a natural relaxant for your bowel, apparently.
Is
So
it?
peppermint tea and.
When you say bowel, we have no bowel.
But we do
So
have
don't get-
bowel because it's still bowel. Whatever way you
small
look at
bowel,
it, it's
small
still
bowel.
bowel.
Yeah,
It's
true.
still your intestines. It's still bowel. bowel. But no, peppermint tea is meant to actually be a natural relaxant. I do keep checking it though to make sure that it's not diuretic.
I don't drink it that much.
Oh, I do.
I don't like it.
Not the worst herbal tea I've had, but I'm not a herbal tea fan. Although it made it better last night because I made it in my new chip mug that I got from Primark. So at least
Chip mug.
from Beauty and the Beast, Chip, the little cup.
Okay.
I have one.
Oh, but yeah, at the end of the day, there's no getting around it. Okay, the ostomy is going to smell, but for those of us with IBD, weigh up the options that we had prior to that, which was pretty much a nuclear exile missile blowing up and going off every time we went to the toilet. I think would be the pretty much safe thing to say, along with a load of methane and cows farting. Nah, you try not to laugh.
I'm just like remembering experiences that I've had in toilets. It's just like
It's not. Yeah, I've kind of blocked out a lot. Purposely.
You know what? I've actually
purposely,
written about it and I still laugh. I tell you what, you should try having BAM and a Crohn's flare. It is not pleasant, I can tell you. I was going through pseudo cream toilet roll like there was no tomorrow, and I think I've still got tooth marks in my toilet roll holder and other places that I've been to.
No, it's not the best. But
Oh, Nat, are we making you laugh? Nat's had to tuck a red.
I was trying to write a message on the chat, and you know when you just lost your train of thought.
Elaine said that peppermint capsules will actually help rather than peppermint
that's
tea.
the next thing I'm going to try. My mum's got some for me, and because she has issues with her digestion and her bowel and stuff, and I'm pretty sure she's got something going on, but it's not bad enough for a doctor to send for a colonoscopy and stuff yet. But she was using them for a bit, but she said I couldn't stand it because she gets like these eggy burps. But she said when she was burping, she could just taste peppermint, but because it was just so often and frequent, she said it just really made her feel sick, the mint. So I was like, well, if it makes your poo smell of mint, because she said it made her poo smell. I was like, and you've got to go through like well more bowel than mine has. So
do you guys find that you
when you say peppermint capsules, and I've missed something here, haven't I? Are you actually eating them, or are you just putting them in the bag?
No, you swallow them.
Right.
Like instead of having the peppermint tea, you can get it in capsule form in like Holland.
Oh no, I'd rather just pour the tea straight into the bag.
You'd melt the bag, love.
No, it hasn't got to be hot, does it? Come on.
Well, you've got to stew it. It's got to be hot to stew it. And
yeah,
then
I can let it cool. I can let it cool off.
Lovely, isn't it?
Douche the bag in cold peppermint tea.
Just out of curiosity, though, and just to throw it out to the people that are on the chat and that are watching, do you find that you burp more with an ostomy, and that you can't, especially say with an ileostomy, and you can't really control when it's going to happen?
I can't burp.
I don't. I very rarely burp unless I'm drinking fizzy pop, and that's pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay,
even then, it's not dramatic. Sorry?
I said, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm just a heathen. I burp all the time. I can't help it. It just comes out of nowhere.
Well, my boy had, when he was 3, my middle lad, he had GORD, gastric esophageal reflux disease.
Mm-hmm.
And he basically, he said everything that he ate came up undigested. his throat. We have a sphincter muscle there, and we have one in the bottom as well.
Yeah.
His sphincter muscle had been burnt away, through the stomach acid, and they did an operation called funduplication. It's called, where they go in keyhole, they grab your stomach, and then they wrap it around your esophagus, and then they sew it back up, so they're kind of making you a new sphincter muscle. So now he can't drink fizzy pop, he can't, but everything, he won't burp, he can't burp. If he's going to be sick, it comes out of the bottom end. But it worked a treat, and that was like quite a few years ago. He's like 13 now, nearly 14.
No, I burp a lot, and it's always after I've eaten. It's not just random, but it always happens at the most inopportune times as well. So I have to watch how I eat, and I have to take it really slowly.
The only thing that forces me to burp is cucumber.
Cucumber.
And I can taste it all bloody day.
Oh, bless Val. Sorry, she's just made me laugh. She said her stoma doesn't fart either, it just squeaks. Oh, bless her. Oh, God, mine's been going off recently, but I think because I've not been eating much and because of the tooth and everything else, because I've just literally been on soup and yogurt with the odd slice of bread, because that's all about I can bleeding manage to shove up one side of my mouth, even though it's big enough. My stoma's been really windy. It has been proper kicking off. However, I've been sleeping straight through the night and not using gelling agents because there's nothing to come out of the bastard thing. Yay me! I might have to stick it out for another 3 months. I don't do a little bit of what stoma diet works for you.
That's what I mean. It's a bit of a cheat diet, that is, isn't it?
Oh, I can't.
Toothache's brilliant for diets because you can't eat nothing.
I've got another 2 to 3 weeks before they've referred me to have it taken out. They've actually referred me to hospital. They're knocking me out to have it done. So now Ben's like, oh my God, we're going to have to get your mum to have Maisie, because apparently I want to go off on adventures when I've been sedated. The after effects are rather amusing for me. So I've got to have that one taken out, but I've got another one that's cracked up the top that I've got a temporary filling in that they've got to rip out as well, but they both go really deep. But the problem that I've got, Crohn's is just the gift that keeps on giving, because I have no cavities, I have no plaque, I don't have anything else on my other teeth. My back teeth are just crumbling. And it's my wisdom teeth.
I have never had a filling. I've never had a tooth pulled or anything.
Wow.
The
my
thought,
teeth
horrifies me. My worst fear is losing my teeth. And my dentist says, how you've got to this stage with all your steroids, your Crohn's disease causing malabsorption before, you've had 2 pregnancies, which can wreck your teeth. And every time I go in, she's like, you look terrified. And I'm like, yeah, because one day you're going to say I need a filling.
My teeth are awful. Well. I've got rabbit teeth at the front, the tiny little things that look like children's teeth. And they're like the ruins in Athens. They are. They're that filled with.
Diaz real problem because he's sick so much with his gastroparesis. It obviously just eats away at his teeth.
Yeah. And
he grinds them.
I would love a new set at the front, but I would be smiling on every single photo that I took.
It's just my back teeth.
It looked ridiculous. Everyone would know that it weren't me.
Well, the dentist said it was my Crohn's, and she said, I said, well, is it because of smoking? She said, well, you've not got anything anywhere else on my teeth, so it's a bit of a weird one, to be fair.
No, I feel very lucky.
But he's talking about eyes as well earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, when I went, I recently, I don't know, probably a year and a half ago, my eyesight deteriorated with reading medicine. Ingredients on medicine tins, and Facebook I was struggling with because you can't actually make the writing bigger. So I kind of I went and had my eyes tested. Now, when I was having my eyes tested, the lady that did the test, she asked me if I had IBD when she was looking at my eyes.
Yeah.
They do that. They blow air into your eye, don't they? And it bounces back.
Yeah, they test.
And she actually asked me if I had IBD. by looking at my eyes on it, and she suggested that it was to do with the prednisolone that caused my deterioration. Because I mean, I was on a lot of prednisolone for quite a few years, always high doses.
First 3 years of my diagnosis, my eyes were 20/20, and then I started on the steroids and whatever else they've wrapped me on, and my eyes have just got progressively worse over the years.
Yeah.
Well, see, I have iritis, which is, you often get that when you're diagnosed with arthritis as a child, and it can cause blindness. I used to go to physio and that with a girl that was blind through it, because you don't really get symptoms, but luckily I normally do. I get pain and a sort of red ring around my iris and stuff, but the treatment is steroid drops. So what they've then done, obviously the oral steroids and the IV steroids and the injections and stuff I've had of them over the years, have caused cataracts now. So I had cataract surgery on this eye a few years ago, but it hasn't worked. They've done it wrong, basically. It needs redoing. So it's caused other problems, but that's because of
trying to juggle different treatments, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
There's always some sort of
yeah.
Well, I'm thankful with the eye drops and everything else now. It's made life a bit easier. It's made my eyes a bit easier, but he's now got me on a year recall.
Yeah.
For my eyes. Both the optician and the person who checked my eyes to check that it wasn't anything more sinister. I'm on a year recall, so I've got to go back every year just to make sure that nothing else is happening. But it's just weird when they say to you, oh, you've got to use eye drops, and oh, what, for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks? No, the rest of your life. Yay!
Yeah.
If it works, though.
A baseline, I have to have a drop a day of steroids at least, just to keep my eyes ticking over now. I'm on drops to reduce the pressure in this eye. Where they've gone wrong with the cataracts, where they've replaced the lens, they've basically, it's in the wrong place and it's over one of the drainage holes. So my eyes can't drain properly. So then the pressure builds up in it. So I'm on drops to reduce the pressure in this one as well. And then like things like the methotrexate and that. To be fair, my iritis has been pretty calm. But obviously I have been on steroids, oral pred now for 6 years. So, and I'm coming off of that now. So we'll soon see how that sort of shakes that sort of stuff.
How many, like when they first when they first started giving you the pred, what sort of dosage was you on that to start off with? Because they blast it, don't they?
Oh, God, something like 90 milligrams a day, I think I was on at one point. I know that they had me on 100 milligrams for 3 months when I was pregnant, and that was a day. And I had to taper the dose down.
Well, the highest I've been put on oral pred is 80. I was only about 18.
How many tablets is that?
They're 5 milligrams a tablet. So it's something like 8 or 9 I was popping every morning.
They always started me off on 10, but I can't think what they were, whether they were 5s. They always started me off on 10 for a week, then 9.
Yeah, a low dose is classed 5 to 10, possibly up to 15. Normally for a Crohn's flare, you're started on 40 and you taper down. So the last...
Why on earth did they have me on such a high dosage then?
I was on 80 once for an iritis flare, but 3 days in, I'd not slept. I was wired. I was just in such a state. And I went to the doctor and they were like, it's these steroids. And he straight away reduced them. It was just, I was sat crying in the doctor's and I was like, I don't know what's the matter with me. And he was like, you're basically depressed. But he said, it's just these. They
tend to just throw them at you, don't they? It's kind of like the first
when I was pregnant must have been a bit of a bad one then.
Yeah, the normal dose for a flare, they start you on 40, I found. Like when you're on the oral, I don't know how the dose correlates with the IV. But once you switch to oral, you're normally on 40 and then you'll taper down. I've been, in the last 6 years, I've never been lower than 10. So, and it's been non-stop. And any way up to, I was put on 80 at one point. But
per day?
No. Yeah. So they said
it's ridiculous.
They would do 40 and they just...
It's kind of like,
something else instead.
how high will they go until they realise that you
actually,
need something different?
Graham said 60 milligrams of steroids is the maximum baseline for oral, but that's just to no, that's just a normal baseline. That's not a max. He said that is a maximum, but I don't think it is, because I know they had me on 90 milligrams when I was pregnant because they were in my notes, and I've had access to my notes.
What's that he said? Sorry.
There's a 60 milligram baseline.
60
steroids, 60 milligram baseline.
Yeah, no, I was definitely on 80, but never again, because it was just horrific.
I remember the very first time that I had them, I felt fantastic. It took my flare away completely. I was dreaming of cornflakes and bacon. I was waking up so hungry that I could eat everything, and I felt brilliant, like a spring chicken running around. No pains, no arthritis pains or nothing. And then it wore off, and then they kept throwing.
Yeah.
Even Elaine's just said as well that for big flesh, she's always been on 80 milligrams to start.
So they do start off really high, don't they?
Yeah.
But it's just.
And you work out how many over like 10 weeks or whatever it is that they sort of taper it down. It's a lot of tablets that you're taking.
Mm-hmm.
I'll come off it. Pred is the bloody root of all evil. They don't give me Pred no more. They give me budesonide, because it's gastro resistant, and I think the maximum dose that they've ever put me on of that is like, I think it's something like 56 milligrams a day, because they're gastro resistant, and they come in 28 gram sachets that are like lemon flavored granules that you just chuck down your throat, and you have to leave them to dissolve on your tongue. But yeah, I don't take Pred no more. If they've ever put me on anything again, it's always been budesonide.
Well, it's kind of hit. I've always found it's kind of hit and miss as well. Whether I got the Vit D, is it vitamin D chewable capsules, tablets?
Do you mean the calcitures?
Yes, sorry, them are the ones. I always had to ask for them. They were never actually part of my prescription.
No.
And they're really important,
I'm still meant to have them daily now, but it's like chewing on a bit of chalk.
See, I have tablets of it now.
Yeah.
I don't have to do them. Yeah, I get the chewy ones in hospital normally. When I was in the other week, they gave me the Adcal minging ones, and I find
I used to like them. To be fair, I used to really like them.
Ben has me on a daily omega-3 vitamin supplement, another vitamin supplement, and something else.
See, I've got a new one to try, so I'm gonna give that a go and see how it helps.
He gives them to me in the mornings when I come back from the school run with a cup of tea. Like,
have you seen the time, lady?
No, we have overrun. Right, what are we doing next week? Oh, let's think. I'll tell you what we'll do next week, as it is the last one in March, and it is pretty much a year since we've been doing the show in March. We will have a little thing about these actual stoma bags again. So if we do a little bit of a rehash of bag roulette, Steve can advertise for the benefits of Holoplast, the new bag.
Yeah.
I'm buzzing that I can actually talk about it now, because you know what?
I shared it on Twitter earlier. I was like, he'll be so happy. He doesn't have
my hernia is just getting bigger. And I tell you the strange thing about this, it's all like a catalogue of events that have happened. Last year, I was supposed to have my operation, my 3-in-1 operation. My stoma moved to the other side, my hernia repaired, and my rectum removed in one. My arthritis flared that bad that I was off work for 5 weeks, couldn't walk. So therefore, I used up all my my sick pay. Now, then the trial come along. If you remember, when we was in when we did the Pelican thing.
Yeah.
In Cardiff, I went to Stepney Green in London.
No, we know you did, because you had to rush out in the morning, didn't you? That's
it, yeah. And that was the they kind of worked that in so I didn't have to miss the Pelican thing. And then so if I wouldn't have had the arthritis, I wouldn't have got to trial these bags. And if I wouldn't have trialed the bags, everything that happened after that wouldn't have happened. It's kind of like really strange, the way things have happened.
Oh, it's lovely. It's good.
And obviously this summer I'm penciled in to have my op this summer.
We'll have it done, lovely. I'm seeing mine. I'm seeing mine on the. Is it the 4th or the 5th? 4th, the 5th of April. I'm seeing my GI team to sort out everything else and to finally get the full results of my MRI. So that's going to be fun and dandy. Extensive scarring, yay me! So getting into me is going to be like.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to it. I see everyone in hospital, and I think back of when I was in, and I haven't had as many admissions as you girls. Not at all. You know what I mean? I've been in 3 times.
I already told you, when you have it done, I'm going to be coming up. I'm going to be at the side of your bed, and I'm going to be going around with pom-poms and all sorts and playing when the sun is here and freedom and all that sort of stuff.
I'm not looking forward to it, but you just got to be brave, ain't you?
Lovely, it'll be fine. We handle a lot. If you can handle what life's already thrown at you, you can handle another one.
Yeah, exactly. It's just another challenge to face, isn't it? You know.
Another.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, Val said that she's in round about the same time as you as well, Steve. So we'll all be in.
We'll got Copenhagen next month and the month after, and then June, July, probably my op. I'm working it so that I'm off work so I can get my holiday back.
Check you.
Nice. I've just found out as well that because I've done over 5 years with my company. When I was off with my arthritis, I was entitled to 6 weeks full pay, 6 weeks half. Now, because I'm in 6th year now, it's 16 weeks, so 4 months I'm entitled to, if need be, which is brilliant. It took a massive weight off.
Weight off, isn't it? Yeah.
No, that's
just
really
financially. I'm going to have to put a key, because I live in a 2-high flat. I'm going to have to put a key on a piece of string for when the nurse comes up to do the dressings and stuff. Because I'm not walking up and down them stairs.
You can have a key box, can't you?
Yeah, that's true. Rachel's got one of them.
Okay, so we're going to wrap up for this evening. So next week we will be covering a short roulette on different types of stoma bag again and other bits and pieces. We'll also be celebrating a year of the show. Yeah. So yeah, and we'll also be talking about the event that Purple Wings are hosting a week this Saturday, which you will see most of us at if you are going, because we're on the catwalk, we're getting our strut on. So if I fall flat on my face, please don't feel free to film it, because
everything's being filmed. Everything.
You are having a laugh.
No, trust me. I'll tell you what, I said, my boxing do.
Yeah.
I said to people, I don't want it screen live. Everyone filmed it. Everyone saw it. People at work saw it that didn't go.
Okay.
You got no chance with camera phones now, girl.
You better hope I don't fall over. Then you'd be holding me up and walking me down. Now.
I reckon we should all wear roller boots, just for a laugh.
What, heelys? I think you said heelys. No, not a hope in hell.
Inline skates.
Nope. Right, okay, so thank you for everyone that's tuned in this evening and for being on the chat. If you've got any questions or anything, then you can inbox us individually or you can inbox us over at the show. For those of you that are watching after the show, and you're watching the recorded version, if you actually check down on the right hand side under the video now, the YouTube actually plays back the chat and what everybody said on the show. So if you check there, and also if you're watching after the show and you haven't subscribed, please click the little button, because we're so close to 200 subscribers and we'd like to get a little bit more than that. And thank you for watching. We will be back with Stoma Bag Roulette again next week. And no, I'm not trying in different bags. I'm very happy with the one I've got. Thank you very much. And I think everybody is. And we'll say thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
See ya. Bye-bye.